I show up as myself, and I show up as myself in truth.
Estelle is a Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, and actress from London who is known by many for her big hit American Boy and currently has The Estelle Show on Apple Music.
Give up. Just give up and get out of the way. When I give up and I get out of the way, nothing is ever terrible. Give it to him. If he's like, I'm trying to teach you a lesson here, open your mouth and do this, I'd listen to that too. Life is happening for you. I don't believe my world is trying to destiny. I believe my world is beautiful and loves me. And I move through life like that. Some people are like, you're always happy. Yes, bitch, why the fuck not? The highest version of me is when I am joyful. And most people always want that.
To whom much is given, much is required. Part of that requirement is sharing. Culture is the heartbeat within our lives, and it's at the core of so many things. While we live in a time when we are starving for wisdom, I welcome you to your wisdom retreat at Culture Raises Us. We'd love to start with, when you hear culture, what does that mean to you?
It's a big word.
Yeah.
It's all the things that make us us. And when I speak of culture, I'm talking about Black culture. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about Black British, Black American culture, because I've lived both experiences to a degree, you know?
Through your experience to date within the music industry, I'd love to get a sense from you. Was there a particular moment when you realized just how instrumental music culture was to shaping overall landscape of our world?
Oh, maybe when I would say you don't realize it, but then I think I paid attention to it when I was a child. Mm-hmm. I think so I used to live in an area in London called West Kent. It was on the back of an area called Earl's Court. So it was kind of like back-to-back neighborhoods, right? And literally over a wall, there was this big venue called the Earl's Court Stadium, right? For one of the phrase. Earl's Court 1, Earl's Court 2. And Earl's Court 2 is the bigger one, and that was right over my back wall kind of thing. We had a big wall. Literally over the wall, you could see the back of the stadium. And I remember it being purple in the air. Prince was playing. And when I tell you the air looked purple, like the venue was covered in purple from the inside, and then the outside, you could just see purple in the air.
And you're seeing this from your crib?
I'm seeing this from the back of my house, and I could hear him singing the songs and performing. Yeah, he was one of my mom's favorite artists, and it's like a memory stuck in my, in the back of my head. Like I remember thinking, they lit the air purple for this man.
How about that?
What? And it's my favorite color, so I loved seeing the purple, but I was just like, what? And this when you realize it's lifestyle. Some people are very clear and focused and intentional, with their music, and you can do it to that extent, you know? That's when I realized, this isn't a small venue. This isn't just some place. This is the Earl's Court, and the air is purple, and this is that guy, Prince.
So I'm assuming from that experience, you had other evenings or days where you heard other music. Yeah. But this vibration and this feel was different.
This was different. Because, the venues are venues. Everyone just goes and does their thing. You hear who's playing. Cool. The air was purple. Did you hear me? It looked like I had a purple sky in London. It, maybe in my imagination doing tricks, but I just remember seeing purple everywhere. Why is the sky purple? What is happening? And it was just in that area, so it felt like an illusion. But I know what they do with lights now, but at the time I was just like, this Purple Rain guy.
And that was the moment for you.
That was it.
That showed you how impactful this music culture was. Yeah. You know what I've been meaning to want to ask you forever. Because growing up in New York, family from Jamaica. But family in Bromley.
Wow.
I have family in Bromley, so I used to come out in the summers in Bromley. But always want to get from you, talk about the cultural differences from London to now being in the States and the nuances from a Black culture standpoint.
The more I find out, the more I realize we're all the same.
That part.
Smoothly, there's words that we use that are different. There's things that we approach from a different perspective, but we get the same result. There's the way that we wear our clothes, we influence each other, we go back and forth. And then my experience comes from parents who emigrated firsthand, were born in the West Indies in Africa and came here, but were very dedicated to their culture because their parents were dedicated to making sure they didn't forget the recipes. And so we didn't forget the recipes. And they
Literally
taught us
and
that.
figuratively.
I cook, so
that part
specifically, it's in my head. It's I don't need a cookbook. It's this is what you do. So like the differences are this much. It's just the way we do things, the nuance, and like, oh, I didn't have this vegetable, so I use this instead, or we call this vegetable this. Oh, so it's the same. Okay, cool. You know, or we made we didn't have this thing at the beginning of when we arrived in America, so we did it this way. You know, same thing with like, okay, well, you did it the way we were taught. You just adjusted the tools. You know, same thing, literally. So it's fun to me to look at every version of American culture and be like, oh, that's that. Okay, that's that.
You can make the associations
every single time. Yeah.
You were also raised in a very religious household.
Yeah.
Growing up, were you not even able to listen to like secular music?
Nope. For a period, let me say that, for a period, because so it goes that we went, and this is a part where I may have to adjust when I tell people this, because we started off. My granddad was Muslim, married a Methodist. My grandma was a Christian, married her, had to become Christian because he went to live with my grandma. Then, so she would observe his Islam. He would observe some of his Islam, but she would also take everyone to church.
Okay.
Right? So there was Ramadan, there was that, but she was going to church on Sunday and he had to come. So he'd be in there like, I guess, cool. Like, you know, like I'm there with my wife, I guess, you know. And then when he stopped going, it was fine. So we were raised Christian, went to Methodist, went to just Church of England. When my mom left my grandma's house, we went to Methodist for a while with my grandma, and then we went fully, lived with my mom and had all, you know, we parented in community. So when I say lived with my mom, we lived in our family's houses.
Gotcha.
So by the time it was just us, my parents, we were in Pentecostal, and that was something else, because that was like,
right.
And I think that was more to do with my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad was raised Pentecostal. And so he was like, I want to find that kind of church and let's raise our family. You know, this is a calling. So we all went there. And that was when it became, throw all this shit out. Only gospel music in the house. We're going to get up and do 5 a.m. devotions. Wow. And even though you got school at 9, get up at 5.
That part.
And so it was just like, it was a discipline and restriction that, of course, no child loved. But I found joy in the music of it. You know, I was like, this is the music, the harmonies, the way they sing, like the way that the singing's done. I know something. This feels good. This feels like something I know. And so for me, that was my musical introduction, I want to say, as far as like learning the discipline of how to do music. Yeah.
It sounds like this is also a foundation for you from a spirituality standpoint and a faith standpoint.
Yep, for sure. It is. But, you know, I also like realize how many different religions we've had the blessing to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I realize that I'm more spiritual than religious. You know, I'm definitely
break that down, because a lot of us say that, and I don't know if it goes over people's heads sometimes. So the religion of it, if I have to go to somebody to get to God, to me that's religion. If I have to go to a person to get to God, if I go to a pastor or a priest or something, to me that's religion. That's a practice of different things. Spirituality is I'm going to pray and speak to God at every single minute of every day, because He's told us that we can, essentially. And the door is always open.
And the door is always open. I looked at things from maybe I was 14, 15. I was like, I would go to church now. Something it kind of hit me and it's stuck in my brain as a process. There's us. There's all these different religions. And there's God. And I feel like He gave us all these different versions of religions to talk to all of our differences, you know, all of our different ways. But most of us just get stuck on this instead of just going to God. So my thing was like, I can learn from you all, but this me and him. You have to be one. Yeah, it's me and God. It has to be a relationship, a full relationship. And so I, you know, in every era, in every version of my journey through life, through music, for whatever, it's been me and God. Yeah, we have real frank conversations, and I struggle with waiting. I struggle with like patience sometimes. I struggle with like knowing what to say. And in those days, I literally like, I don't know what to say. I feel like we need to talk, but I don't know what to say. Right. So like, you know, you do the work, please. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm so glad you brought up the patience piece, because, you know, we are programmed to put a plan together. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have my album drop on this day. I want to have my house. And, you know, everybody always says that's God laughing at us smoothly cackling.
No, cackling.
Cackling. Okay.
Laughing inside and outside.
All of the things.
Like, really, I have the plan for you.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is patience.
Yeah.
And knowing that what will be is going to be, and what you need will come to you when you need it.
Exactly.
And it's all in His time.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? I mean, because that's something like we all go through.
Surrender.
Ooh.
Give up. Just give up and get out of the way.
That part.
That's my thing. Like, when I give up and I get out of the way, nothing is ever terrible. I think about it like...
But put context around give up, because I don't want people running with this notion of what they think. Right. Like, I ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to sit here and it's going to come to me.
It's surrender it to Him. Surrender isn't just like, bleh. It's like, give it to Him. Like, I pray and I'm like, all right, you got it. Like, I don't know what to say. You got it. Or this, I'm tired today. You got it. Like, I know that I'm taken care of in all of the ways, and I act like I move like it. If He's like, I'm trying to teach you a lesson here, open your mouth and do this, I listen to that too.
That's right.
But there's moments where I'm just like, yeah, I don't got it. And He's like, okay, well, you don't got it. You don't want to listen to me. Well, cool, sit there and don't got it until you realize, well, maybe I do got it. I just need to be quiet. You know, I feel like there's lessons. Every single thing you can turn around in, but the patience thing for me was a game. So now it was a journey. Because I did the plan, I did the thing. It should come right now. And God was like, it needs to cook. Chill out.
That's right.
Relax. The pot is still boiling. Relax.
That's right.
I was like, but I did all the things. I put all the things in the pot. You said, yeah, and now I need it to sit there.
That's
and
right.
simmer
and
for an hour.
That's right.
I need it to like boil. I need the heat to do its thing. And this heat that you're feeling is the heat cooking. Like, chill out. And so for me, that's been my lesson, and I feel like I'm not gonna say I've learned it, because He'll test me again. It's a
constant evolution of learning.
He'll test me again. I don't want that test. I'm straight.
Yeah.
So,
right.
It's an evolution thing. Yeah.
It's so much in that I think goes across so many aspects of life. Beyond the patience and just letting something marinate and be, and being content in that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, as I could speak for myself, we've had to go through so many things to get to a place of embracing that, because it's so easy, once again, when you say, but I've done all the things, but it's His time.
And then sometimes when you've done all the things, sometimes it's like, goes like, take a break.
And that's the other thing that you said that I was going to jump on, that I feel like we need to talk about more in our villages. Yeah. It's okay to take a step back and sit. I think we attribute being busy with being productive.
That's wildly the opposite.
Wildly.
Like, there've been days where I wake up, or weeks where I wake up and I'm just like, oh, I am so tired this week. I have done nothing. And my body's catching up from maybe last month.
That's right.
But it just hit me today.
That's right.
Because I didn't stop when I landed, and I didn't stop to breathe, and I didn't stop to take a bath or go in red light or red light therapy, or I didn't do all the things that I know my body needs. So on this day, 3 weeks after you've landed from wherever you've been super busy at, you got off the plane, you got busy. Even more.
Go.
That third week, your body was like, and for this week, we should be tired.
That's right.
And we mistake that with like being lazy or whatever, but not
on my job. I'm not doing my thing.
I'm not doing enough. I'm not hungry. Like, yeah, you've been hungry. You've been on your job. You've been doing your thing. Your body's just tired. And I'm learning to listen to that now too. I'm learning to listen to that even more now.
And the power of stillness. I don't think we see the power and the value of being still for a minute.
How many times do you get in your bag about something, and the minute you sit down or you lose something in the house and you're like running around like, where did I put the... And then you be like...
Clarity.
Oh, every single time. And the more grown we get, the more me and my friends relate to this, like putting something in the house and just walking away from it and being like, where did I put that? It's right. Okay, that's where I put it. If you're doing your loops in every single thing you do, and you don't have that moment to just be like, that's the easiest way to find the thing, or that's the easiest way to hear the thing, or that's the easiest way to see the thing. It's always inside. You're doing loops trying to find the thing, or you're running around trying to lose your mind or expect the thing or move the thing mentally, and the thing's just sitting there waiting for you to calm down enough to see it. And that's why I'm like, just I'm always just like, yo, take a breath. Like, take a breath and then get back to it.
But that goes back to your relationship conversation.
Exactly.
Right? Because when you put it in that, you know that it's going to work out the way that it needs to, but you have to have the faith.
Yeah. You have to know.
And know to sit, be still, or do whatever it is you need to do in that time to let this thing become what it's going to become in his time. And
play it out. Let it play out. Like I say this to a lot of people, and I mean it because it's for me. Life is happening for you. The world is not trying to decimate you. It really isn't trying to. Your world, if you believe that it is, then it sure it is. That's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't believe my world is trying to decimate me.
No,
I believe my world is beautiful and loves me, and the space
with all the adversity,
with all of it, because it's called harmony. You need a little bit of everything.
That's right.
But I don't believe that that's the sole thing I got to look forward to in life. I believe I have so much beautiful in the present and in front of me. And I move through life like that. So when people are like, you're always happy. Yes, bitch, why the fuck not? Yeah. Like, my world is glorious.
And that's a choice. And guess what? You too have.
You have the choice.
That choice.
As well. Yeah.
To choose joy and peace.
To choose it. And this doesn't take away from the fact that there are things that will happen.
Going 1,000%.
But I look at it like, well, let me look at why this happened. Let me slow down, take a break, take my breaths, and look at why I'm here. And what it's trying to teach me. And sometimes that it's not like a whole 2-hour meditative.
Right.
I gotta listen to my calm app.
None
of that shit. Sometimes it's just like, oh, let me take a second. And sometimes it's like, oh, got it, lesson, pull, move.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it is like a week of I need to sleep. My body is over me and what it's telling me right now is I need to go to bed. So I'm gonna just go into bed.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you shared that. And I think it's a great segue because I think given the state of things that are happening around us to date, what are you doing specifically to kind of ensure that the cultures and the spaces that you frequent are being nurtured properly? And what recommendations would you provide for other creatives and consumers to also do?
Well, I show up as myself. That's what I can do. My whole self. I know I'm a singer. I know I do everything, talking, speaking under the sun. But I show up as myself, and I show up as myself in truth. I'm not giving you a show. I'm not here to be like, it's the Estelle show. Like, it's not that. It's absolutely me being like, I'm present with whoever I'm with. If I'm sitting there and someone's talking to me and they're like, and I can feel they're having a bad time, if I can do it, and if I've got the capacity, my energy's on 1,000 that day, which I always try to make sure is whenever I go outside. Otherwise, I just don't. I take the time and replenish myself. Then most likely I'm there to help, or I'm there to like listen, or I'm there to like offer a perspective that they may or may not know. And I'm there to learn from them what I may or may not know. So I take the time to be present with them. And it does sometimes it gets like, oh my goodness, I'm exhausted after that interaction. But, my strength doesn't come from me. So I'll take it and
you'll be replenished.
Go sit down and be quiet for a while over there and then come back.
Because we're always trying to calm the storm rather than calm ourselves through the storm, which is going to pass.
You said through is the point. Through is the point here. Yeah.
And that's why when people say, just take a step.
Yeah.
Every day, take a step. As long as you're moving.
Yeah.
And you're not stagnant, you're moving through whatever this thing is. But when you try to think that you can control the storms,
don't do that. That's an effort in futility.
Oof.
That's a journey into futility. Trying to control the storm, trying to tell the storm like chill out. That's God. That's nothing to do with you. He's put you there for a reason. Sometimes it's okay to just the quicker you realize this ain't you. It's nothing to do with you. It's the journey you chose, and this might be something to do with God right here. Is the quicker it gets figured out. Every single time. I used to get so frustrated, and one of my managers at the time, I used to get so frustrated because I would tell my team, do this, and you should talk to, and they would be doing it, but doing it their way.
Okay.
And she turns around to me one day and she says to me, she saw me just being like, but the thing ain't come through, and I told, and da 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 da. She was like, but did you ever think that they're getting it done. They're just getting it done in a different way, in a different pattern, and it's still going to get done.
Yeah.
It's just going this route instead of that route.
Unity is not uniformity.
We're still going to get to the end result. And so to that point of like being able to be like, all right, I thought it was meant to, in my this meat sack, I thought that, or my brain told me that this is what, and this is all colored by my experiences. This is what it's meant to be, and this is how it's meant to go. And God was like, let me take you the easy pass route. Chill out, relax. And you don't even know what that looks like, so you think it looks longer, but promise you.
I got you.
This is the easy route. Yeah.
I got you.
It's the easy route, you straight.
In seasons of fasting, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, which obviously could be more than just food or social media or alcohol. Yeah. Is there a communal fast that you would advocate for to move us to get to a further clarity, alignment, and focus moving forward?
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it if at 6 p.m. every single evening, everyone just took 15 minutes and meditated together, or just in general. Like that, at the end of the day, like, so it gives you a bullet point. Even if it's not 15 minutes, 5 minutes, at 6 o'clock.
Whatever it is, but at that same time.
Yeah, like take 5 minutes and go internal. 15 minutes, go internal, as long as you need, at 6 o'clock every day for like a month, just to see what happens different. Even if it was just for someone who's not into it, let me see what's different. Just do it. Just try. Just try.
No, I love that.
And I'll say 6 o'clock because you asked me if there was a community thing we would do. If that was a thing, that's what I would do. But just the idea of everyone just chilling out for a few minutes at maybe 6, at that golden time of day, 4 p.m., if they could, depending on where you are in the world and what your job looks like, or just having them all. And again, meditation isn't all the time. Right? It's, I'm having my AirPods in, I'm listening to megahertz. It's, I'm having a good conversation with God and myself.
Intentional with that time.
Intentional with your time at 6 p.m. Or 4 p.m. And just because I just love when the sun is not setting. I love that time of day. It just gives me a warm feeling of rebirth. Like, oh, okay, I can get into the rest of the day.
I love that.
That would be a thing for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Another hot topic has been, DE&I. And when you look at it, what it was prior, it really helped more than anyone, white women.
Crazy. How about that?
Wild.
How about that?
How about them apples? So what are the things we need to now do to ensure that true diversity is kind of reflected in the spaces where we've made so much impact culturally for multiple decades?
Do what you know to do. With everything that's going on in the world, I think that we act as though sometimes when these things come down the pipeline and people are like, well, the guy said, we act as though we don't have free will, as though we don't know what to do with ourselves, as though we needed that mandate of DEI to allow us to support each other, to allow us to go and buy from our brothers, go and buy from our sisters, to go and put our brothers and sisters in specific positions. And I'm talking humanity, and I'm talking culture, I'm talking white people, black people, I'm talking
all the things.
But I'm also talking us. Do what you know to do. If that person over there is qualified and great, I'm not discussing your race.
That part.
I'm not discussing whether you can do it as a gender. I don't care. You can do the thing. Do what you know to do. Do what you know in this era, in this time, in this specific space that you know is correct. Like, they shouldn't be a mandate that
to make you do
this.
Right.
Like, that's the part for me. So let's stop acting as though we need the mandates to do what makes sense. And I understand in some cases it can be argued, yeah, you do. Stop making stupid people popular. Stop giving people jobs who feel like that should be a discussion.
Or putting people on platforms.
And that's the quote. So putting people on platforms, and stop giving energy to people that feel like that's a discussion to be had, or that's a decision to make. Like, are you outside of your mind? Like, who raised you? And in often terms, the truth is we know who raised who.
That part.
But we are us now. In today,
a collective us.
There's a lot more of us that that's not a second thought too. Like, yeah, I don't care about what you identify as. I don't care about your race. You can do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There's a lot more of those people out there, and I want us to realize that and get that and move like that now, because it's the truth. It is the truth.
I remember sitting through a number of sessions, for years, talking about diversity and inclusion in the different corporate spaces.
Yeah.
And I would always ask, what success looked like for people. Like, what does success look like? And there'd be multiple different answers. And they would ask me, what does success look like for D&I? And I said, the day that we don't need it, that D&I is not here.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm looking at how it's trying to be, and it's a totally different way that it's happening right now.
Yeah.
My play was coming from a space of when you do the right thing, it's not even a thing anymore.
It's not a thought.
It's not even a thought.
But the fact that they had to put it in there made you realize that people were on some bullshit. Excuse my language.
That part, excuse your language for what? You're supposed to give it like this.
People were on some bullshit. And so my whole thing is just like, it has to become, we have to start believing and realizing and moving and acting, and our actions have to reflect what we believe, as far as like, it shouldn't be a thing. I need it to not be a thing. It's not a thing. Like, and be intentional. I have a thing where, with my friends, an ongoing discussion where we're talking about everything that's going on in the world. And I was like, I'm sick of being a mirror to this. I'd like to be a solution. So don't DM me stuff where you're just talking about the last week's headlines, talking about, oh my goodness, did you see this? I saw it.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't care about it. I don't care to discuss it over and over and over and over. I care to discuss the solution, and I care to discuss what's actually happening and ways that we can actually move like this. It's cool to have information. We adjust, we move. Like or not even adjust, or we just do the thing that's going to help us.
That's right.
And us and us.
That's right.
And so, like, that's my thing. I'm not. I used to be like believing fully in it, and it's just truth for the times that she was in. When Nina said, an artist reflects the times, and that's the truth. And I think now an artist has to actually call the future into being.
Well, I think that is an amazing segue into. I'm so glad that you are now working on new music. I would love to hear about it, how it came about, what your thoughts are, because you just gave two very big scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Talking about what's happening or being the future, and I'd love to hear how that plays into everything. What you've got going on.
Well, this funny. this album was made with that intentionality too. 2012 is when I did the very first record. 2018 is when we got in on this batch. We took that first record in 2012 as like a route. Right, like the sound is a route, one of the routes, and myself and Keith Harris got in. I called him and I said, I just want to dance. I want to make music that feels fun and funky and joyful. This energy, all the music that's out in the world right now seems like it's trying to just squeeze us into this crucible of darkness. And I'm not it. I'm not in it. I don't want to do it. I'm not going.
Too bright. No, you're too bright.
I don't got it. Like, I don't like this. I want to dance. I don't want to dance in two-step and that's all I got. I want to be free. Like, I want to move every inch of my body, and I keep moving my hair around. And and he was like, cool, let's get it. Let's try something. And from 2018 through the pandemic, I'm still tweaking stuff. It comes out in about a month or so, and I'm still tweaking stuff. It might be out by the time you see this. But I'm still tweaking stuff on it. But it's just intentional joy. Like, I want to dance. I want to be my highest version of me. Like, as much as I knew it at the time, and it's all personal. Your higher self is subjective. Your highest self, where that is. We probably never make it. We're not going to reach it till we get out of off this planet. But the highest version of me that I possibly can is when I am joyful. It's when I am dancing, it's when I'm performing, when I'm singing, when I'm having a good time, when I'm in a space where people are lit up also, because light attracts light.
That's right.
And most people always want that. Most people I've encountered just want to feel good. They want to tap into their light wherever they are. They never want to walk away from a scenario feeling like, yeah, that was a good, terrible time. Like, no one says that.
A good, terrible time.
Like, nobody says that, right?
But I feel like some people walk around with this darkness that they just can't get through.
And it's understandable. I would say that's your journey, but I also believe that we're all born with light.
Agree. And a gift.
And a gift. I'm not saying it's a choice that you walked around, and however you gotta get to the light is however you get to the light. I would like for it to be the sustainable light. I don't want it to be the short term hits, even though sometimes the short term hits can lead you to the long. I know it's confusing, but I believe that we're all born with a light, and it should be in pursuit of that light. Everything you do should be in pursuit of that light, you know, or in recognizance of that light. You know? God, Holy Spirit, your angels, your whole spiritual team. It's about staying in tandem and play with them. And you recognize it when you see it. I believe in medicine and I believe in herbs. You know? I believe in science and I believe in herbs, I should say. I believe in all the things. Done right. It's a thing, you know.
Moderation.
Moderation and all the things. Chemicals come from herbs. They take the compounds and make them into chemicals, and then we have both sides. I believe in doctors and I believe in herbalists.
Herbalists, yeah.
All of it, right? So I say that to say, if somebody is going through a really dark time, doctors are there for a reason. God made us all with all these skills. He gave us these things. Go see somebody, talk to somebody, find a way to somebody, something. And in the interim, talk to God. It doesn't have to be everybody have to be in your business about it. Like, I talk to God all day, every day.
Every day.
Every day. Like, I be in the car, like, in my head, saying that out loud, speaking, driving, whatever. I'd be in consistent communication. And whether I hear back or not, I know he hears me.
That's what I was about to say. They hear
in
back.
The moment,
yeah.
And it's like just giving without the idea of it needing a interaction. Right. It's the unconditional part for me.
Yeah, it's the let go, let God.
Yeah, it really is. All the quotes we say, Jesus, take the wheel, da, 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 da.
Right.
And then we say, take the wheel, and then we try to snatch it back from him.
Boom.
I'm not into the snatching back part. I'm into the take the wheel. You got it. And when I do snatch it back, it ends up terribly every time. It's just bad.
Again, I'm so glad you're sharing this, because so often the snatch back. I'm literally looking at myself snatching the wheel. Like when you say, I got it on autopilot, you do your thing, but I'm like, oh, but wait, can you just
take that right? What are you doing?
And you know what's so wild is we have so many references of him taking the wheel, and look what came from it.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Like, stop.
It exceeded our expectations, what we even thought was possible. But then it's still, guess what? We go back and we try to.
Well, we're trained that way, and I give myself grace. We're all trained that way. You know, this would be a 2-3 hour long podcast if I get into that, but we're all trained that way. It's a human thing. It's a generational thing. It's how we are in this planet.
Programming of our society.
How we programmed ourselves since maybe the night. I've been around since the 19s, right?
Right.
1980. 1980. But like, people, you got to think, generations have been programmed in certain ways, and with each generation, we've evolved a little bit. But it doesn't cut out the mainline programming. It doesn't cut out the you must work or you have to do this to get that. And what I found is when I literally am like, I've done everything, you got it. Or halfway through, I'm starting to realize halfway through, all right, I'm tired, you got it. You know, like I stop working sometimes. I'm like, all right, Jesus, you take the wheel. And he's like, all right, I still need you to do so and so and so and so, but like, I got you.
Yeah.
And every time, through the roof, wildest dreams, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for one of those moments. I was stressing my lawyers out maybe in 2006-07 before I got signed to have my album here. I was calling him every 30 minutes, like, have we got the deal done? Because I was sitting in my house in between record deals. That Atlantic were buying me off of V2, buying my contract out of V2. Not buying me, it's terrible. Buying my contract off of V2. They didn't want to let it go. There was so many numbers and words and things and stuff that they were trying to, just stifle the moment or get more money from Atlantic. And Atlantic were like, this is the cap, let's go.
This is it.
So I remember maybe 4:00 in the afternoon, 4-5, it's my golden time of day. And my lawyer was like, we probably won't hear back from them until tomorrow. It's a wrap. We'll talk tomorrow and see what they say. Because it's been months and weeks of like, we'll see what they say. We'll see what happens. I think I got so mad with everything. I was like, oh, God, you did not bring me here just to bring me here.
Yeah, right.
I need you to do something right. I cursed.
Yeah.
I apologized in the same breath. Like, I'm sorry for cursing. But this is not it. Like, you didn't bring me here to bring me here with this music. I know I got more. I had an honest everything out.
Breakdown. Just
Like,
gave it up.
I ain't got it. I need you to, within 30 seconds, dear God, I need that phone to ring and I need this deal to be done. And I was very clear. And I was like, all right, thank you in Jesus' name. I'm sorry for cursing.
Yeah, amen.
Right, amen.
Right.
Oh, literally 30 seconds later, the phone rings. Oh, well, we just got the final back. You can come in and sign it tomorrow. When I tell you I cried, I'm crying now. I cried, praised. I didn't know what to do with myself. So this is my point of like, do all you can do, be frustrated, but once you surrender. And there's been so many instances of this for me to talk about. Like I said, it'll be a 3-hour show. But that's where I get the idea of like, yeah, chill out. Stop. And so I don't stress myself out as much anymore. That's right. I recognize when I'm doing too much and I'm like, you got it.
Such great gems to live by. And I thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
And we always close these out with what are the 3 seeds that you would want to leave with the stewards of culture moving forward. And I think, well, I'm selfishly, I'm like, the way in which you walk through the power of surrender, the power of surrender, because that doesn't even sound like it should go together.
It doesn't.
The power of surrender.
Chill it out. Chill it out. That's one. Chill out.
The power of chilling out and surrender.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I know people talk about it and there's podcasts ad nauseum and there's think pieces and what are you going to do in between? Literally nothing. Like physically nothing, mentally nothing, emotionally. Go and sit in the bathtub while you wait. Go and cook some food for your family and yourself while you wait. Go and do a yoga session. Try something new. Do some Tai Chi this week while you wait. Like smoke a blunt, or roll up, or bowl. I don't care. Do something outside of yourself that has nothing to do with the thing that you are surrendering about. Like chill out. Like some things, get out the way.
Yeah.
Like, cause you. What do I do while I surrender? Well, I pray and I fast and all right, that's great.
Right.
Give God praise. Say thank you for it in advance. Also, go and enjoy your life. Or, also go eat some food. My belly just told me, go eat some food.
Or surrender like you did at the spades table at game night when that night where you got camera. I'm sorry, I had
American
to do that.
culture.
Yeah.
Surrender like you did at the spades table. Chill out. Like just
no. Listen, I have always, we've met over the last couple years and have a lot of mutual friends in same circles. And I got to tell you, every time I come into your space, it has always been great energy.
Good.
And a sense of joy and light. And I just thank you for that authentic joy.
Thank you.
And positioning that you have. And even having this conversation and getting to the depths of it, it makes even more sense now.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for you and everything that you're doing. And you know you will always have a supporter here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. We truly appreciate your support because it helps us fulfill our mission of promoting cultural awareness and personal development. Please click the subscribe button below to help ensure and solidify our mission.